All right, welcome everyone to today's info session from NeoTech Academy. My name is Eric, VP of Admissions, and we're excited to have you with us today because you are going to have you're going to be participating really in a live demonstration of our AI for software testing boot camp, which is coming up very shortly. You can see on your screen right there, it says the 22nd of February. I don't know about you, but I can't think of a better way to spend a Saturday afternoon or a morning if you're on the West Coast than talking about, changing your life because that's really what this is all about. That's what it entails. And we're going to talk about how if we can add AI skills to what it is that we're doing, in this case, software testing, that there's the potential at least to become even more marketable, which means what? Means more money, and that means potentially being able to do some things that maybe you weren't able to do before. I was reading where if you take the more vacations you take in a year, it's better for your health. Maybe you're in a situation right now where you can only afford one vacation a year, but if you upskill, so to speak, maybe you can, start taking two vacations a year. But let me start off our session here before we get into our live demo, just by asking you guys, how many of you, if you could just respond in the chat, please, how many of you are currently involved with software testing? Like you're already doing it right now. And I'll just look over here to my chat box. I've got six screens, so I've got to look over here. So how many of you just, if you just respond to the chat, are actually participating right now in software testing? So we have QA director, automated testing. Oh, great, great. Nice backgrounds here. Senior QA, QE manager, manual tester. Oh, good, good. Well, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware, and that's maybe the reason why you're attending today, AI is it's not something that really is necessarily you really can't describe it as being the future because it's already here. It's already here. There was a survey that came out last year which stated that about 70% of US companies expect their contractors and employees to have AI skills in the next 3 years. And that came out last year. So now we're in 2026. So 2 years essentially that you've got. And so it's just a matter of, do I want to do it now and get ahead, or do I want to wait to the last minute and maybe get left behind? And that's really what this whole thing boils down to today, guys. So AI it's not really, it's going to be a part of our future, yes, but hey, it's already here, as I'm sure a lot of you are already aware. So AI adoption in software testing is accelerating, yes, and it's certainly transforming the QA industry. There's faster employment potential in emerging AI and QA roles, rapid career growth potential, higher salaries. I'm going to show you in just a little bit how, before we wrap up, how if you have these AI skills added to your software testing skills, your QA skills, you're looking at potentially about a 20% plus increase in your salary. Now, it depends on, what company it is and depends on where you live, but that's the reason why you're doing this. So we're going to get started with our demonstration here in just a moment, but a quick little background on us before I bring on Malik, who's our lead instructor, and you're going to get a lot out of his class here. He's awesome. But we've been training people around the world in software testing for many years. We have hundreds and hundreds of alumni around the world. Course Report, which is very well respected in our industry, rated us as the best QA testing bootcamp in 2023, as well as 2024. Career Karma rated us as the best software testing bootcamp for 2024. Now, we'll see how 2025 went. We think it went great, so we're expecting some more accolades to come up here soon, awards for 2025 that obviously was recently over. Write this date down, guys, if you haven't made a note of it yet. That's February 22nd. That should say, I'm sorry, that says January 25th. It's actually February 22nd. So notice up here in the right-hand corner. See, I should have used AI to correct the PowerPoint here. So February 22nd is when the AI for software testing course actually begins. It's a 4-week accelerated course. And you're going to learn a lot more in 4 weeks than it would take you years to actually learn on the job, we believe. So I'm going to come back on in just a few minutes. I'm not really a few minutes. I'm going to give Malik as much time as he needs. I think he needs about probably 45 minutes or so to give you that live demonstration of his class. I'll come back on at the end and I'll go through the tuition. There's actually a money back guarantee with the tuition. Some of you, maybe even a lot of you, you've already been trained by us, for software testing. So we have various, discounts available, which I'm going to go through with you guys in just a little bit. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to bring on the man of the hour. His name for this course, and it really is a life-changing course. I've never heard anybody say, "I wish I didn't make as much money as I'm making." If you get a salary increase, nobody's ever turned the money down or been disappointed by that. It's usually a good thing. It's always a good thing, I think. But anyway, I'm going to bring on Malik now. I'll come back out the end, guys, and I'll go through the tuition, the money back guarantee, and all that good stuff. All right. So Malik, you want to take it over, my friend?
Yeah, sure. Well, I joined, but I'm not sure why my video is not there. Are you able to see my camera? Yeah, okay, it came out. Okay, great, great. Thank you very much, Eric. And hello and welcome everybody. Let me try to share my screen first so that we take it from there. So just a second. Um, Guys, could you please confirm if you see my slides, just to make sure that I share the right screen? Okay, cool, cool. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Okay, so all right. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So again, thank you, Eric, for the nice introduction. It was great to introduce the whole course relevant materials at first. Now, guys, I saw like I just have gone through quickly your in the chat your messages. I can see like wow, wonderful. I mean, employment ranks that you have, and it's great. It actually makes me more interested in this course specifically. So just to before we proceed. Let me introduce myself first so that you know who's going to teach this course before you make a decision. And I hope your decision will be positive and you'll be with us. So my name is Malik and I'm a validation manager with 3 years experience in the same position of validation management. And prior to that, I've done different types of industrial positions from IT and also educational positions and roles over 18 years of experience. And what is relevant, guys, is like I'm extremely interested in AI and I've been dealing with AI for quite some time. And the idea is like I tried my best to learn AI as soon as it got into the market and tried to get into the job itself relevant to my own field. So what is about the validation manager thing and what's it's relevant to testing? So basically, I'm exactly the middle person between QA and technical teams. And I either create documents on my own related to the validation or review all relevant documents related to validation, including testing documents. So operational qualification, performance qualification, etc. So I do have great experience, I would say, in relevant to testing and relatively good experience with AI and integrated both of them along with our team to come up with this course. And I would say it is really essential for those who are interested in bringing up a new type of skills into their own roles. So basically, this was about me. So about the course itself, I'll try to make the explanation about the course details brief. Then we can go to the hands-on and explain those within the hands-on. So the course is designed to be career focused, and as you have seen, or maybe it will be discussed a bit further in a short while, that the course is very focused. It's just 1 month. And the content of the course related directly to testing with AI. So we're not planning to teach you testing because we assume the pre-knowledge of testing. So if you have no idea about testing, I would say maybe you should take our course in automation testing first, if you are interested. But if you have no idea about testing at all, most probably this is not exactly the right course. But if you are a tester or you know testing or you are interested in testing, this is exactly your course. And if you know a bit about automation or you are expert in automation, then exactly this is what fits you. And of course, you are interested in expanding your knowledge in AI and how it fits into the course itself and into the job market, I mean, in general. So basically, what do we teach in this course and what is it all about? As I said, since it is career focused, we try to give you what is exactly the market is looking for. So we try our best to get into the top market requirements in terms of job posting, in terms of trends and markets like Copilot, for example, like if not taught fully, it would be like we would give you an idea about it, like Cursor, for example. And as you know, or maybe you've heard, if you have not dealt with those, they can be used for speeding up coding, for acting as an AI agent or assistant that helps you with all coding stuff and planning stuff, etc. So we will teach you those. Plus, we will teach you also other tools that will help you in creating testing cases, test planning, also generating data for testing, etc. And also we will give you an idea about how to integrate AI in performance testing and also in the back-end testing as well. We'll give you an idea and of course practically with self-healing strategies and with AI, and that will help you a lot to improve your testing processes with AI. That will create a kind of automated process for you to proceed with less load of work and less effort and more automated process and more actually intelligent process. Okay, so the course itself is designed within these modules, like an introductory part, and then we have like AI and software testing in general. We try to explain how AI fits in the software testing life cycle, and then we start creating actually projects or small projects that fit into AI-augmented testing strategies. So once we start creating these small frameworks, we will get into a type of a project that you will have over the course of the bootcamp. So basically the first week will be like the introductory part and the essential ideas. Then we will start with the project. And along with the project, of course, we will learn creating an AI-based framework. Actually, we will not do only one, we will do multiple, and we will learn also advanced database and API testing processes with AI and also performance testing. So I'm not quite sure how well you are informed about performance testing, but with AI, it becomes really very easy. And for those who feel it is annoying, AI makes it really very, very enjoyable. So we will have touch on that as well. And also as a bonus, we will have AI for mobile testing. We will have like a small framework that fits mobile testing and where you can use it, maybe modify it, create your own structure of it and apply it for mobile testing. And just for you to know, of course, we will finalize the capstone project, but the idea for you to know, like these frameworks that we will create can be adapted easily with AI. So your involvement with coding here will be minimized. Your involvement in planning here will be minimized. It will be like a supervisor work. You will give the required prompts and integrations, etc., and the rest will be done with AI. So throughout the bootcamp, we will go over different types of tools and different types of integrations, etc. So please do not be intimidated with this, what you see now. What we will be doing here is not actually teaching those from scratch one by one, but we will go over what's required by those. And AI will help us to figure out how to use them and where to use them. But what is required and essential is your knowledge of testing. So basically, we will go over different types of tools. We will integrate them within our frameworks, know how to use them with the AI capability and AI assistants and agents and other tools that we will be using. Okay, and guys, just for you to know the time or the schedule for the boot camp, it will be distributed over 3 days per week, Wednesday and Saturday and Sunday. So weekend will be around the noon time, morning to noon time. So 11 to 12, sorry, 2 p.m. EST, and for the Wednesday, it will be evening time, EST, 7 to 10 p.m. So the classes are actually distributed to 3 hours. They will be enjoyable and not really heavy loaded. So we will try to focus on actually what is more relevant to practice, not theory. So now, guys, let's go to hands-on and try to see what is it all about and give you a taste of how this bootcamp actually is made and how it will just brush up the knowledge that you might already have, or it will build a new knowledge on the knowledge that you have that will help you to create further skills that will improve your strategies at testing, your chance of standing out when there are like certain applications with AI required, etc. So all of us actually know that there are different types of AI tools or AI bots or AI chat agents, etc. Can we use those for to help us produce test cases or to generate test plans or to create certain specific parts of testing mechanism? We can do that for sure. So it is not really hard to use, let's say, ChatGPT or DeepSeek or any type of bot when we provide to it relevant information and ask it to do it for us, or ask that agent or that chat to create for us, let's say, a plan. But what I'm trying to do here is, well, that is not really practical. Why it's not practical? You know, carrying information from a website into, let's say, a chat agent might not be even allowed in a company where you work. But there are chat agents that are integrated with possible, could be like IDEs or browsers or some type of extensions that would be permitted by your company. And if not, it is possible also to have like permission from IT team with some, of course, like processes, to have legal processes and bureaucracy to have those endorsed. So what I'm trying to say here, guys, the idea of having this kind of scenario is like, let me give you a touch on this. Let's say I want to address this login, and I want to have like, let's say, boundary cases, positive login, negative login, etc. And I would like to have those analyzed by AI, not only just my own knowledge. So can I use an integrated AI with this browser to do this for me, not just carrying it to another, let's say, bot, etc.? Yes, it is possible. Let me show you. So if I try to, let's say, inspect this login, and it will take me to the this kind of background DOM analysis for us. And you must be familiar with this, where we can locate elements, analyze elements within the DOM. But what I want to analyze is I want to use the integrated AI assistance with my browser to help me with this element. So this element is already tagged. Can I ask certain questions related to this element? Yes. And is this practical? I would say it is more practical than shuffling between this, let's say, page and, for example, any chat agent. So here, I will just give a quick prompt. So I will say, can you explain to me, or can you explain a tagged element? Okay, and let's take a look what we would get from this AI, which is 100% free. It is integrated with the browser, I mean the Chrome browser, and it gives us great capabilities along with what we are seeing within the DOM. So imagine that you are testing some stuff within the DOM and you don't want to shuffle between pages, etc., or between tools. So you are still on the same browser. You're within the same browser and you have an AI assistant that explains to you all these details. It might not be very relevant. I mean, the element itself, but as a tester, what will I do with the element? So I have an explanation here. So to me, I will try to ask something more relevant to myself as a tester. What could it be? Let's say, can you locate this element with a valid, Selenium locator. Let's see. All right, here we go. So it helps creating some Python codes because I didn't specify which code I want to find for you these elements and locate them with CSS selector, with some other XPath and some other specific locator. Now, I would say convert Python into Java, for example. Okay, so here we got the same and converted into Java. So now I will say, can you create a strategy, a POM strategy, let's say a POM style testing mechanism for this locator, for this element. And let's see. Okay, well, here's the answer. Okay. All right. Let me see. It didn't exactly actually proceed, but let me try again. Okay. Create the test with Java Selenium. Okay, here we go. So you see, guys, starting from just one element, I can create an entire testing strategy with everything. And let's go through it. And I believe you have enough knowledge to understand what this is that we created from a simple AI assistance available within the browser. It's built in. So let's take a look. So here, it created for us all this import stuff and then login page. And you see that since it is like a POM strategy, we create separate pages, right, for each of the pages that we will test, right? So with that, it located the element, the username and the password, and it created the driver, the web driver that we need to use. It integrated certain tests here, as you see, sending keys, etc. It might not exactly be practical, but it will help you shorten the time period of creating everything from scratch. And the good thing is, like, you can go on with these modifications. I mean, with no limit. Actually, this is like open with no exact like limitation here. It's open, so you can modify all you want. You can add all you want, move from one page to another, one element to another, and it should be safe. Should not be a problem in this case. Why? Since the browser has access to your page, the page that you already see, I mean, then AI agent will not have a problem to jeopardize your security, so it should not be a problem. And it should not be banned. So I would say some companies have like weird policies, but I speak about, you know, the general perception of such an AI agent that's built in with a browser that's approved, let's say, by a company that you are working for. So in that case, it will really help a lot. And as I said, like if you go further, you will see like certain tests with before each, for example, test, and then another test. Let's say positive test cases, negative test cases, etc. You can also ask like to customize boundary cases. Let's try to do it quickly so that we can move to other things. Can you add, let's say, add all possible boundary test cases for this login. Okay, it's working on it. And as you know, like when you work with boundary test cases, we human beings may forget things, right? But AI would bring you mostly cases that you have not even thought about. Like, let's go over them quickly. Like empty username. Not all of us really think about it, but it is a common one, of course. Like the minimum length and then the maximum length, user with leading and trailing spaces. We tend to forget this one as testers from time to time, etc. So these are like really great cases added here. We can ask them also, ask the AI agent to add it to the code, and it did. So you already have these tests integrated. You really don't need to, create them from scratch, and you can go on. So what is the limit here? Nothing. You just need to enable this AI assistant in your browser. And as you are analyzing these elements, as it is a part of our role as testers to analyze these elements and come up with their locators, etc., we can use AI to do this for us. Okay, is this the end of it? Not really. Well, as I said, now this one helps us a lot to plan our testing, right, and create like boundary cases. Can I have a better thing actually to do this for me? Definitely. And guys, the good news is, like, you know what? It is also taught within this course. It is a tool called TestCraft. So what is this tool? So let me show you. TestCraft is an extension. You can add it to your browser. It goes with the Chrome browser, so you can install it to your Chrome browser. It's free, and it is really safe. A lot of people use it with no problem. It has no security issues, but of course, I mean, if you are working for a company, you have to obtain, required permissions. This is like a disclaimer from now. So if I have this extension installed and up and running, like as you see with this check mark, what can I do with it? I can use pick element, and I will specify this element or the entire element and say, suggest for me test. Okay, so the element is picked. What can I do now? I'll go to this TestCraft and say generate test ideas. And you know what, guys? As we just said earlier, it is really not that easy, and sometimes it tends to be annoying when you try to create all test cases on your own. So it might be really a problem, okay? Okay, so the idea, again, guys, the idea that we are discussing here is that the test ideas that you might need to have like several sessions of brainstorming and referring to like different maybe colleagues or maybe sometimes supervisor, etc. It will be provided to you by this tool with a few clicks. Okay, now let's take a look. So earlier we tried to use the AI agent assistant available with the browser, with the browser itself, which is provided as just a free tool or free assistant by Chrome, and it was really helpful. I mean, as a free tool built in with the browser, it is cool. But if I have an interactive tool where I click on an element or some, let's say, frame or some type of, let's say, parent element, and I want to have test ideas generated for me. And as you see, guys, let's take a look. Positive test cases. Let's go over some of them. Verify that a user can successfully log in with valid credential. Well, valid login, right? And then check that show password feature displays the password correctly when it is checked. So we do have like this visibility of the password. I can show the password, for example, if I want to see the password, right? And then we can go along with the rest of positive tests. Let's go take a look at the negative test cases or test ideas here. Attempt to log in with invalid username and password. So this is the basic one, right? Let's take a look at this. Ensure that the login form does not accept special characters in the username field, for example. So, this is a case where, of course, we refer to the requirements, right, to know whether this one is available or not. And you could add to those or modify them. Let's say, for example, uh, I know that from the requirements, let's say that we can accept special characters in the name, for example, for the username. So here, for the test case, like in the form does not, I would say make it does accept. So instead of does not, I changed it to does. Can I do that? Yes, you can modify it. This is the good part actually. And then like creative test scenarios, you can have like several other test ideas. Can you add new ideas? Can you remove some of these ideas? Sure, you can. Okay, now is this the end of it? Definitely not. Okay, can I automate those? I can automate them. So select the test ideas that you want to automate. Let's not automate all of them, just to show, for example. I will like pick some, not all, but you could choose all of them, and I will automate them. Okay. Now, if I automate them, it will generate for me the code. I already set it to generate it into Selenium Java. Can I change that? I can. So here you can see like the login page, and with locators, since we didn't exactly have that type of POM strategy, etc., but you can convert those into POM and take only the tests. What do I mean? So you can see here we have like enter username, enter password, click the login. So click the show password, get the error message, etc. So we have like login test. You have like the before and then the successful login test, etc. So you have a whole strategy for testing with different tests that you already checked from this tool. Is it helpful? Definitely it is. Definitely it is. So for example, here, if you look at this test rapid login clicks, and this is something that not everybody thinks about without sometimes the help of AI. Like if I clicked like, let's say 10 times on the login button, what will happen? What is the scenario? And what is the expected scenario in this case? I mean, what are we supposed to see and how are we supposed to see it? Okay. Okay. So the idea back again is, as I said, like this is very helpful. And let me show you one more. So here, if I go to this testcraft, let me close this one. If I go to testcraft here and I go to the setting, I can choose whichever fits my strategy. So JavaScript, TypeScript, Java, C#, Python, with Selenium, Cypress, Playwright. And as you know, Playwright is quite popular with AI applications. So you can automate those with maybe minimum knowledge of coding with those. So can we make use of these? Definitely we can. Definitely we can. And you can integrate it, by the way, with some AI capabilities, but on its own, it's really handy. And we've been using it for quite some time, and it's really helpful. And you can see, especially with complicated like elements, it helps a lot. It helps really a lot and shortens your time. Now, you may think like, okay, but this is intuitive. I know it. Yeah, well, login is intuitive to most of testers, right? Especially for those who are with good experience. But when it comes to some other elements that are a bit more complicated, it will help you with test ideas. It will help you with automations and etc. Okay, is that it? Definitely not, because this is not exactly what we are aiming at. This is just like a taste of what we do. So let's move to the real deal. I mean, let's move to something that's really interesting and that we are supposed to learn within our course with like extreme care. So what can we do with AI in specific? Can we use it for front-end testing? Can we use it for back-end testing? Can we use it for performance testing? Can we use it for load testing? Can we use it for API testing? Well, we can use it for everything. And the good thing is like most of these I just mentioned that they have suitable either tools or capabilities that they integrate AI with the project that you create to test them. So what do I mean? Okay, the idea is like this, guys. And let me, before proceeding to to showing you like AI agents or AI assistants within an integrated development environment. This is VS Code, guys. I believe you're familiar with it. If not, it's okay. It is very similar to any other IDE that you worked with. It is actually simple and straightforward. It's lightweighted, and you can have extensions added to it for further capabilities. If you have no idea about VS Code, of course, we will have an introduction related to it in our course. Will be explained, and you'll have like the idea how to use it and how to manipulate things with it, create projects with it. But it is really simple and intuitive. Okay, before proceeding to that, now I keep receiving this question, or sometimes we discuss these questions like over and over again on different sessions and like talks. Can we use an in-house AI, let's say, capability that does not really communicate with an online server or cloud or a server on a cloud? Yes, we can. And this is something that a lot of people use. But, the only thing that you have to bear in mind is if you are doing an in-house use of AI, you should really carefully check the capability of your computer, because AI requires a good capability of your own machine. So let's say I would say an average machine would not really be very good for locally used AI capabilities. Okay, just to give you an idea, what I commonly use as an in-house or locally on my machine as an I use actually Olama, which is a very popular AI supplier, AI actually provider of modules, AI modules and large language machine models. So Olama, you can download it and it's free. It has like, I don't know, hundreds, if not thousands of models within it. And some of them on cloud, some of them can be downloaded locally. And once you download this, you can even turn off your internet and chat with the model that you download into your local machine. It will not communicate with the server. It will be locally preserved. So for example, here you can find the model and you can download it if you want. You can go to actually, once the Olama is downloaded and installed on your computer, you can go to your command prompt or terminal and chat from there if you want, command line prompt. But here it's just like, let's take a look. I'm chatting with DeepSeek Coder, for example. This is a model used usually for coding, but I can chat with it. Let's say, hi, can you, let's say, I will say, can you suggest positive and negative test cases for login with Java Selenium? Let's take a look. So this is available, as I said, locally, 100% on local stuff. So you can take a look at what it suggests. So here it will give you like some positive test case, negative test case, and etc. So with some assumptions, and this is 100% free, 100% in-house. And as I said, like, is this capability that's the only thing we use? No, not really. We use this one when we are only in need of it. What do I mean? Well, is this like a great thing to use? Usually outdated, and I will tell you why. Let me ask this question. What is your cutoff knowledge? Cutoff knowledge date. Knowledge date. Okay, let's see. Well, okay, let's try to ask the question in another way. What is the year of your latest training? And guys, sometimes you have to be patient with AI. I mean, you need to modify the prompt or change it. Now, look at this, guys, here. So until 2019. So this is a bit old, right? And we wouldn't really be very interested in it, as its knowledge is well, outdated. So we might need to use, of course, like up-to-date models. How can we use them? From where we will use them? Of course, we will see that in just a few seconds. The only thing is like we can use Olama and add whatever model that fits our usage as long as our computer can take it, can support it. Okay. And what is this for? As I said, this is in-house, 100% safe. It is isolated from the out world. Plus, you can use this local capability as an AI helper in your testing. I'll show you just a touch of it now. Okay, so now what is the deal, guys, with this VS Code where we create like projects 100% built with AI? So let's say, well, we all know how to code, right? At least at basic level, at least. But I would say you as testers judging by or maybe developers judging by the titles I saw, you must be an expert at programming, at coding. But you know, coding takes a really long time, especially if you start from scratch. And if you have an AI assistant that helps you with that, well, why not? I can be just like the code reviewer, right? I can review the code and fix it if I want. So the idea is like this. If I have an AI agent, and let me explain to you how we install those, and of course we will learn the whole details within our course. So you can use these chat agents or assistants within a VS Code by installing them as an extension. So you can search for extensions like GitHub Copilot or like Codex, the one provided by OpenAI, or you can check for Continue or can check for any of them. I would recommend usually the use of GitHub Copilot with 1 month free trial. Pro, it will give you 1 month free trial. You can use it and see if it works for you. If you have a premium access to ChatGPT, you can use its Codex. So it's called Codex. You can use it. It's an AI assistant that can be integrated with your VS Code, or if you are using Cursor, you can use it on Cursor. JetBrains also, you can use it in there. So it is that type of structure. So now what I would like to show you guys and what we created in the last batch, in the first batch that we told, is a project that's created 100% by AI, by Copilot, where almost zero human intervention with it, and that tests end-to-end tests with this guide. So the guide is actually created by chat capability. Before we go to the like the agent mode, by the way, we have different modes, and we will learn about those within the course for those who are interested. We can chat with the with the agent, AI assistant, and create whatever we want, modify like files, etc. And then we can switch to the agent mode and go to the action. What do I mean? Let me show you like a simple, let's say, style, or simple, let's say, touch. I would say now, okay, here, let's say, create a simple test, positive login test for Orange, Sharam page, and confirm that you're logged in. Then log out and terminate the browser. Use Playwright, MCP server as needed. And let me explain what I'm saying here. Okay, so basically I created a simple prompt to tell this AI agent to do the job that I'm supposed to do manually, to create the test that I will automate. So when we automate tests, guys, we start manually, right? We start with manual process. We go, we inspect the page, we inspect the element, we get the locators, we add them to our pages, we add the strategy for testing and the tests, etc. I say for AI agent, okay, you know what? Use something called Playwright MCP server that will allow you to communicate with the page directly, HRM, and create for me a positive login test, and make this test, add it, and terminate the page. So let's try to do this one. This is a chat. I will go with agent. So I will try to use like one of the good. Sonnet is really great. Claude Sonnet is one of the best. So I would say from my experience, I would just choose this one. I'll explain to you the differences if you join our course, but in essence, some of these are much better in coding, others are much better at chatting, etc. So they differ in the jobs that they provide. Okay, let's try to do this and create what is required. Now, I didn't specify actually the strategy, whether I would like to use Selenium or Java, etc. It might ask me to do this, but it's okay. Let's see what it will suggest first, and if it is fine with it or not. So it is doing what is needed here. So it created like some steps in the background, and it said like, okay, you know what? I found some already in your page, or sorry, in your project. Okay, now I will do this processes. I will use this URL, and okay, I allow it just to do this process, to run it, to check the URL. Guys, look at this. This is very important. Playwright MCP server is navigating. Why am I saying this? You see, guys, the idea of using MCP server like Playwright will allow you to land on a page and navigate and communicate with the components. If you ask like a ChatGPT or any other, let's say, chat agents and tell them, you know what, go to that page and do this test for me, they will not know how to do it because they cannot exactly communicate with the page. They will tell you, okay, you give us what you need from there and we will suggest we will do it. So here, MCP server, in this case, Playwright, will work as an intermediate level between you as a programmer or as a tester and the chat agent and the page. So it will deliver your ideas into the chat assistant or AI assistant, and it will help you to run these via or by the help of this MCP server. It's like a middleman, and it will help you to create these navigating, logging in with valid credentials, verifying successful login, and closing the browser. So who's doing it? MCP server. Now, I will keep asking these approvals. Let me allow without review for this session so that we will skip, and this is safe. I know the website. I know what we are testing. So we don't randomly use this allow for all sessions unless you know what you are what you are exactly doing. So basically, it could reach to the URL. It could reach to the dashboard. Now it is like taking like a snapshot to verify the dashboard is displayed. So it is running it. Okay, now let's try to do this one as well and allow. So it created some tests and it will tell me now what it created for me. Let's take a look, guys. And please bear it with me because this is really interesting. Now navigating to the page, using these credentials to log in, and then after that, logging in with valid credential, confirming that it sees the dashboard, and then logging out, then closing the browser. So this is exactly what I want. So, okay, it created it. So now let's test it. Let's test what you created. Okay. Okay, now it's telling me, but wait a minute. What do you want me to do exactly now? Okay, so I wanted to run this test with like login positive test, created for me even a test suggested the name, okay, allow, and it's telling me how to run it. Let's say I don't exactly know how to run this test. It will suggest for me how to run it. It will give me the indication. It will run it for me with the agent mode because it has access to my files here. It can modify them with my permission. I allowed it to do that. Okay. So now it is trying to run. Let's see. So it is in the testing stage. Okay. Now it's trying to test. We landed on the page. We added the correct credentials. By the way, credentials are provided in my main project. Okay. So it could do this one 100% with no coding on my side. So now you might tell me, but wait a minute, you didn't give any instructions here about which code do you want to use. Well, I did not. Let me explain to you what I did. In the background, I give all needed information for the project to run with as a guide. So how do I create this one? Simply, I use like ChatGPT or DeepSeek or any chat agent, or even the chat agent, the chat mode of any of these tools like Codex or Copilot. So basically, what do I do is I create this guide and I provide all the details of my testing strategy within this guide. Like, okay, what I did, I said I will use Cucumber, for example, and Selenium WebDriver. I'll use JUnit 5. I'll use, let's say, Llama AI with AI Helper, and I will use certain MSQL connected to the project. And I give all these instructions, how the POM works, what kind of codes we will use. The structure of the project is created for me with a chat agent based on the information I provided. And then when I have this guide, if I give any prompt, it will refer to this guide as a memory bank, and it will dig the information needed built based on this strategy available for the project guide. Can we create this one ourselves? Yeah, maybe hours it will take from us. But with the AI, well, you give maybe, let's say, 5 to 10 lines of instructions, and it will create for you all this structure easily. And then you will have all these instructions or guide available for your project forever. And if you want to change any of them, of course, it's just a prompt. And guys, this is what we usually do. We try to lower our effort in repetitive coding jobs and do as just a reviewer. So I can go within my tests created and see what is being tested, and I can review these tests and see if they are exactly fitting what I want or not. So basically, look at this login test. I can check if it is exactly what I want or not. If I want to modify it, I still can, again, chat with the agent and ask for a certain modification and etc. One more thing, just before we wrap up, guys. This is like, as I said, this is a project we created with the last batch. And with this project, guys, we connected an AI helper for what? So for AI helper, I create something related to the reporting mechanism. So let's say I will ask this agent, let's say I really don't know how to use Allure, for example. I would like to see a report from Allure here. In this case, let me just stop. And I will say, can you execute Allure report? Let's see. And let's take a look. So I created this capability. Of course, we will discuss it, but let's say I don't know how to run it. I know, I'm just telling you. So it will give you the instruction that runs it for you. You can allow it and run it directly. And let's take a look. I would like to show you this one before we wrap up, where we have like certain, yeah, the session will be shared. Yeah, sure. So let's take a look how this one will look like. And I would like to share with you like some insights on what we add to it, not just the standard Allure report. Okay. So, well, and one final thing I will also share with you. Let me pull this to our screen here. Where is it? Oh, excuse me. It seems it's not pulled. Okay, yeah, here it is here. Cool. Okay, guys. So you see this report has 100% successful rate because, you know, it's all successful. The test was done successfully. Everything is okay. But if you have any failed test, in this case with the design that we have, we added the capability with our local AI. Of course, we will teach you that one as well. When you have any failed case, when you check it, you'll not just see this only, you will see AI generated report on this failed case. So this is just a standard reporting structure. We added to it whenever there is a failed case mechanism to tell you what is the bug, what kind of bug it is, how you can or how it is possible for you to resolve it, and which mechanisms can help. So this is exactly what we usually teach in like end-to-end testing as a complete structure. But I would like to show you one more thing, guys. So now we said about end-to-end testing. Now, for example, for this page, if I log in, and now let's say if I add employee, okay, let me try to log in. If I add, let's say, employee, or do something from this side, or add employee to the list, or let's say confirm that an employee exists on the database of this application, I can do it from front end or back end, right? Let's say I would like to confirm that Brody Allen is available. Okay, so I can ask actually AI agent to navigate to PIM and then go to the employee list and find Brody Allen here and confirm that it exists. Okay, this is good. How about if I want to test it from the back end? While we do have, exactly as I explained about MCP servers, we have MCP servers for back end, for MySQL. So I can connect whatever possible SQL database, and I can, of course, if you have the credentials to connect to it, and I can test on the back end exactly the same way like I test on the front end. But the test in this case will be written in like MySQL or any other strategy depending on the database itself. So basically, I can check this from the back end for sure. So the idea, back again, if I would like to write a test case here for confirming that the employee is available on the page, then, or sorry, in the database, then I can write it for that one with the help of AI agent to do it for me for the back end. And we will teach that one as well. So it is another part of what we teach that will create it for you in an integrated way. And just for you to know that with this project, we have back end as well. So the tests that we have front end and we have back end. We have different types of tests, including like playwright tests, etc. Okay, one final thing, guys. Let me just show you, for example, here. Now, this one is generated, auto-generated, right? Login positive test case. Let me show you if I can do this or not. Just a second. Now, okay, let me open it from here. Let me go to the source, go to the runners, go to the page step definition. Okay. Okay, let me take this one again. Okay. Now this, I didn't want this one. Resources, just no, just a second. Okay, yeah, exactly. Step definition, we have the back end and the front end. So we have step definitions for the back end and the front end. We have like created base UI test, user interface, and then the tests below it, etc. So basically, guys, this is 100% created by AI, only modified within AI or using AI. And the human intervention here is only by supervising these codes and supervising the structures that are needed for creating this automation. And just for you to know, this is an AI helper developed by within our bootcamp to create for you what I just said about the reporting structures. Like if you have a bug, if you have any failed test, it will analyze it and will create for you like a short report on that bug and how you can test it, etc. So this is like a general overview on how and what we can teach and what we will be within the course. Just one final thing, I will say it before wrapping up and calling again Eric. The idea is like if we have like a task that is really annoying. For example, some of our let's say colleagues from developers change sometimes the locators on the page, right? Let's say while testing, we are trying to see if a certain page is still having the same locators 100%. So I don't want to keep inspecting these locators one by one and going over them. And if there's a broken locator, I don't want to fix it like manually. How about if AI can do it for me? Yes, with Playwright MCP server, it can fix it for you by inspecting the page, and we will teach that one as well. So if you think about just this demo, a quick demo, we have like we will teach you how to generate codes from scratch using your own prompts and knowledge of automation and coding. Sorry, testing. You will use AI agents either built in or the ones can be added as extensions, and you will learn how to plan tests with them. You will add them to a framework, create an extensive framework for yourself with the help of the power of AI. You'll not need to code all these things on your own. You'll not create these frameworks on your own 100%. You will use the power of AI. The framework that might take a couple of days or a week, it'll be done in just maybe 15 minutes or so. Okay, and then the final part that we will be learning like AI integration with backend, AI integration with AI testing, AI integration with mobile testing. So you can just generalize what I presented to you in like these minutes that we remain together, created different test cases and different like styles that might take hours, right? So we remained like for less than an hour together in this demo, and I explained things that might take for even a good tester a good amount of time to do all these. Let me quickly check your questions before inviting Eric. I think the questions are answered. Yeah, I think. Well, for the bootcamp, there will be a certificate. Yeah, sure. Okay. Okay, I guess these questions are answered, but still I'll be around with Eric. So if there's any specific question, guys, you can always ask. So I would like to again call on Eric. Eric, yeah, please, the stage is yours. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, thanks so much, Malik, for that. And I trust everyone here got a lot out of that little demo. And if you picked up something in just that short amount of time there, just imagine what you could pick up over the course of the entire boot camp, which we're going to go through right now as far as how to actually get involved with it, which is going to be the next step. Quickly, I just want to make sure you can see my screen. It should have a bunch of companies listed up here. These are some of the companies that we have put our graduates into in, for example, software testing. We've been training people in software testing, as I said at the outset, for many years. Uh, Companies anywhere from Tata Consultancy Services, United Airlines, Cisco, even government agencies, Social Security Administration, and there's just some of the companies out there. So we do everything we can to help you as far as any type of job placement, advice, anything that we can do to help you advance your career. That's what this is all about: advancing your career, helping you to make more money. So you can start to do the things that you really want to do, and you got to stay ahead of the curve. Let's go ahead and jump into the tuition, so we can talk about how to actually take that next step and get involved in Malik's next class, which is going to be beginning his boot camp on the 22nd of February. 22nd of February. Now, you're not paying this, but our regular tuition is $1,199. What we were doing is we're offering some additional discounts. We have, because this is a newer boot camp, we're offering a $200 discount just for the sake of that, as well as an early bird discount. So if you are signing up over the next 3 days, we're giving an additional $200 off, and that's going to bring the tuition down to $799. Now, even if that's too much for you all at once, even though I would argue it's a very tiny investment compared to what it could potentially do for you as far as your income, where you're here, but potentially getting up here, you could even pay that in installments. So two installments, 399 at the beginning, 400 during the boot camp. So you're not even paying the whole, you might as well call it $800 all at once. It's two installments, 399 at the beginning, and then 400 actually during the boot camp. But it's a very small. I look at it this way. I look at it. I like to look at things from a risk reward perspective. I'm sure a lot of you are the same way. It's a very very tiny amount of risk, and we're even absorbing some of the risk because we're going to give you a money back guarantee, which I'll go over in a second. But it's a very small amount of risk to potentially make a much greater reward. The idea is to make many more times that $800 investment, $799 investment. Now, there are ways to bring that down even further. A number of you are graduates of NeoTech Academy. So if you are an alumni, there is the potential for an additional discount. Reach out to us, reach out to the admissions team, and we'll go over that with you. There's a referral discount when you're referred by a NeoTech student or alumni. Group discount, contact us. If you want to sign up with other people, which we encourage because you have someone there who can possibly motivate you and keep you on the right track. Reach out to us and we'll let you know what type of additional discount we can give you on top of that. Now, what if I change my mind later? Well, there's no deposit, there's no application fee, so don't worry about that. You don't pay anything until the boot camp actually begins. You can cancel for free at any time until the boot camp starts, and there's a 7-day money back guarantee, 100% refund if you decide to leave until you complete your first week. So, over the 4 weeks, you're completing 25% of the class, during that 1 week. And then you can decide after 1 week, hey, this isn't for me. So you actually completed 25% of the class. You were able to participate. And then if you decided for whatever reason, hey, this, I don't think AI is for me, even though it really is for you. It should be for you if you're going to be in the workforce, unfortunately. But we do offer you that money back guarantee if you decide to opt out after being involved for 1 week. And it's a 4-week course, it's a 4-week boot camp. So to learn more about the boot camp, here's what you do: go to neotechacademy.com, book a call with our admissions team by simply going to neotech.live/call. If you're not ready to call, simply submit your interest by going to neotechacademy.com/apply. But secure your spot now. It's human nature to procrastinate. And a lot of people are, and I've been guilty of it. I'm sure everybody on this call has, on this webinar has at some point in your life. You say you're going to do something and you're like, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow never comes. You wind up never doing it. This is something that you really, as I've said countless times, and Malik was going over it as well, we really have no choice. We've got to have some sort of AI skill. And what a way to learn what you really need to know to make yourself more marketable, or when a new promotion comes up at the company you're working with now, by having these AI skills. So companies are expecting you to have these skills. We're shortcutting the learning curve to make, rather than it taking a long time, like I said at the outset, it could potentially take years. We're narrowing that down into a 4-week boot camp so you can learn what you really need to know to make yourself more marketable and possibly make more money on top of that. You can email us for any questions by simply going to team@neotechacademy.com. As mentioned earlier, you can also schedule a call by simply going to neotech.live/call. Some people just like to give us a call, which you can, 929-566-3919. However you want to communicate with us, to engage with us, we're giving you every possible way, method to do that. Okay. So at this point, we'll take some final questions. And why don't I do this? Since a lot of people usually have, not a lot, but some people have questions about the tuition. The tuition is pretty straightforward. Like I was saying, it's $11.99 normally, but we're offering two big discounts right now. Percentage-wise, that's huge. $400 off, bringing it down to $799, $800 you might as well say. But again, it's only two installments, $399 at the beginning, and then $400 during the actual boot camp. And so let's see what we have as far as questions are concerned. Okay, the duration of the course, we went over that. Yeah, 4 weeks. Is that another question about that? And then we have the flash discount. I wasn't even aware of that. So that's in the chat now. So a flash discount for today's session only. That's awesome. So get an additional $100 off when you use the discount code January 31 demo. January 31 demo. That's tremendous. So that will bring this down even further, guys, down to $699. You know, might as well say $700 for learning skill sets that can impact you immediately, potentially, making yourself, as I've said, more marketable. When that next opportunity at your company that you're currently with comes about, who are they going to choose? The company, the person who has the AI skills or the person who doesn't? And there's a pretty good chance if you have those AI skills, it could put you ahead of the pack, ahead of everybody else.
Sorry, Eric, there is a question, I think technical one. I would like to answer it.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, the question related to whether we teach Playwright or Selenium or, well, we're not restricted to any. The idea is like, if you can automate anything with, let's say, Playwright, then you can do it with Selenium. If you can do it with Selenium, you can do it with Cypress. If you can do it with any of those, that's completely fine. The idea is like, we will train you how to use AI to automate this for you, and you'll be the code reviewer. So you will review your code once it is done, not just to rely 100% on AI. And most of the times it's accurate, but as you know, there might be hallucinations and etc. So we will go over different examples to cover some let's say, taste of Playwright and some touch on Selenium for sure, and etc. So we're not teaching you automations, testing automations. You should have that idea in mind, that it's not about testing automation, it's about testing with AI. So you should have basic information related to how to automate with Selenium, for example. So if you have that one, then great. If you have it with Playwright, cool, that's wonderful. So that's exactly the idea.
Very good. Yeah, Shilpa, just reach out to us and we'll discuss that with you. All right. Any more questions?
Let me answer this question also
Mhm.
before we end about the course content. Let me just share this slide and let's go over it quickly. Just a second. Oh yeah. Okay. Excuse me. Oh, okay. Here. Are you able to see my screen? Okay. All right. Cool. So the course content. Basically, we have an introduction to teach you what AI and how it is involved with testing, and how we can integrate and where we can
Sorry, Mark.
integrate it.
We're not able to
So,
see your screen.
sorry.
We're not able to see your screen.
Okay, excuse me. Now,
Yep, you're able to see it now. Thanks.
cool. Thank you very much for reminding me. Okay, thanks. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Okay, so back again. So just an introduction at the beginning where we can explain the idea of AI and the local AI agent and how we can set it locally, etc. Okay, where we will teach Olama and like different models from Olama, and we will see how to work with them locally and how we can integrate them later on with our framework. So then we will explain how AI can fit in the testing development lifecycle, sorry, the software testing lifecycle, okay? And we will go over different tools within that, okay? And then we will start creating frameworks. We will start creating them how? With VS Code, using different types of AI agents, extensions. So I would say now 100% guaranteed we will learn Copilot and Codex. we will add to those some other extensions as needed, and I will teach you how to use other extensions and how to expand your knowledge on these extensions. And then we will like have different frameworks that fit different automations, like some with Playwright, some with Selenium, etc. So we will give you a basic idea how Playwright works, how Selenium works, but we will not teach them from scratch. Even this bootcamp time will not be enough. And we will also have a touch on advanced testing mechanisms for database and API testing with AI. So we will use AI agents to test API and also databases for us. And we will have also a touch on performance and load testing. We will use mainly K6 for that. And we will integrate it with AI as well. And we will have, as a final topic, the AI for mobile testing. We will set a framework that's compatible for mobile testing. We will just have like simple tests for mobile devices, and then you can expand on this knowledge, I mean. And just not to forget about the capstone project. So basically, we will have a project around the second week, starting from second week, where you will start working on it. Until the end of the bootcamp, you will have your own framework. So I'll share with you different types and ideas of frameworks, and you will integrate those to create a final style for your framework, and you should be able to have that one set. Okay, so this is the idea of the bootcamp contents. I hope the question is answered. Stop sharing.
Yeah, guys, any additional questions, reach out to us. Just email us, team@neotechacademy.com, and we'll give you more details. And keep in mind that, just you can request also to get a link to the recording. So if you want to watch it again, that's fine. Don't delay too long on the extra discounts though, because like the flash sale, that's good for today for all of you guys who are attending. That's the additional $100 off. So we're pretty much giving it away. No other way to put it. Well, Malik, I want to thank you for being here today. Thank all of you guys as well for tuning in. And we are going to sign off. But again, just reach out to us, team@neotechacademy.com, and we'll answer all your questions. All right. Take care, guys.